Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to rush B on Nuke as a T on Eco and Force by rounds in CS2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. By the way, we are doing free giveaways every month. In these giveaways, you can win various CS2 skins and free CS2 course access passes created by a Faceit level 10 coach who has experience in high tier CS2 teams. To sign up, simply visit the CS2 Pulse giveaway page and follow the instructions. Link is in the description. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So as a T, you can go towards B from 3 different positions in the start of the round. So let's break all of these positions down. The first position is gonna be a quick rush towards ramp. For this rush, you will need 2 smokes and 1 flash. This is a very economic setup because it works even on eco rounds and force by rounds. You don't need a lot of utility, you just need to invest 800 in order to have a very good round to push towards B. So let's see how the set goes. In the start of the round, one of you needs to instantly throw a smoke as they run towards ramp against this wall. Make sure to not aim too high so the smoke doesn't take a while to land. I suggest just throwing it in between these 2 black marks where the red wall is and just simply left click throwing it against the wall like so. CTs love to throw this molly as is the best way to defend B ramp. As I showed in previous videos, this lineup is very common and even in pro leagues. Everyone loves to use it because of how simple it is. So CTs usually throw this molly every time in the round starts. That's why you instantly need to throw this smoke in order to have even a pre-move. It doesn't matter if you don't see the Molotov, you have to instantly throw it against the wall just in case if the CT decides to throw it a bit later, depending on what spawn he got, because if he got a worse spawn, then he will definitely throw it a bit later. That's why it doesn't matter what scenario you're in, you have to instantly pre-move this smoke and instantly throw it against the wall like so. Besides the smoke, the same player or the second player, it doesn't really matter. However, I suggest the second player to throw it just in case, but the first player can also do it, is to throw an instant flash before the smoke pops out. So before you throw the smoke, you need to also throw a similar flash, same to the Molotov's position. It bounces off just to the opposite side. This molly bounces off towards the inner part of ramp and this pops out towards the outer part of ramp. That's why this flash is very good. After this flash, you have an instant pop out towards ramp and you have a very safe peek, and depending on what spawn the CT got, he can definitely get blinded by this flash even if he's jumping down towards ramp, and if he's standing here he will definitely get blinded by the flash, or at least he will have to turn around, and this is a huge spot for you, a huge opportunity to just instantly peek out and catch the CT off guard. Let's break it down again. So pretty much you just have to throw a singular smoke and then throw this flash and instantly peek out like so, and you have an easy and free take of a ramp. And keep in mind, this smoke does also play a second role. For example, if you have a better spawn as a CT, you will go towards ramp way quicker. That's why this smoke covers off the vision for CTs so they can't really watch the deeper part of ramp, and then it becomes way easier for you because on force buy and eco rounds you won't have that many long range weapons ideally. That's why I suggest using not only the smoke to cover the molly, but to instantly cover yourself as well so you don't get peeked by this position and instantly killed from a longer range weapon. So after you throw both of these utilities, you can instantly peek out towards ramp like so. Once you get the control, if you do get the kill, you do get the kill, but if you don't and the CT jumps down, you have to instantly follow him and push him and try to take the control of ramp as fast as you can. One of you can definitely position themselves in flank and just hold the position like so, just in case if any CTs decide to push from heaven towards ramp, and one of you can also stay in trophy room, but however I suggest at least one of you just to hold flank. The best position if you want to manage both of the angles is this one. You can just stand here like so, watch this position, and then quickly turn around just to check this position, and you can micromanage both of the angles like so. Once you take the control of ramp, you can just instantly drop down and then take the entire B site, and then you need the second smoke to smoke window, because in my opinion smoking the doors isn't as effective since you can instantly take the control of them, or instead you can just hold them standing close to them like so. And that's why the only position that I recommend smoking on an eco and force buy round, so you don't use a lot of money on utility, is just the smoke towards window like so. You just instantly throw it, it covers the entire window, and then you have a very good scenario and you took the control of B side entirely. Then you can definitely play a good post plant scenario and have a huge chance of winning the round. Now let's talk about the second strat. The second way of going towards B is through A side, jumping down towards vents. For this strat you will need one nade, one smoke, and one flash. This strat is very simple, and the only person that you need to focus on is the first player who got the first spawn, because this person needs to instantly throw both of the nades in towards the single door. So the round looks like this. The first player who has the best spawn needs to throw the nade against the wall like so, and then he needs to instantly pre-move like so, just so he can run and instantly throw the smoke off main. Smoking off main, in my opinion, is a bit better than just throwing a blank smoke towards this area, because then you get your vents covered off and then it might become difficult to jump in towards vents. That's why I just suggest quickly throwing a smoke towards main, and then the flashes come in. For the flashes, you just need to throw a single one. You can also buy a second flash if you want, however it's not really necessary. And to throw the flashes, the second or the third person following the first player needs to throw this flash, because the first player can't throw it since he will be very close towards the door. And keep in mind, you do need to keep your momentum quickly, because the first player needs to quickly run out, spam a bit around, and then instantly drop down towards vents. So the second player or the third player need to just quickly throw this flash against the wall. I prefer just aiming in between these two pipes that create a 90-degree angle, and just while running you just throw them. This flash pops off behind the vent, so it doesn't blind any of your teammates who are running through door. It only blinds any CTs who are standing, for example, on top of headshot and scaffolding, or they're standing in default, or even camping behind the vent itself, or camping under hut or on top of it. It really depends. However, it's a very good strat and it's a very good flash, so I definitely recommend you use it. The only downfall that you need to keep in mind for is enemies who are standing on top of hut. Definitely the first player who peeks out needs to instantly focus towards hut and this position. Firstly, he needs to run and look at this position, and then instantly focus towards this one, and then quickly run out and drop down towards it. However, depending on what spawn the CTs get, most of the time after the flash pops out, the CTs are only jumped up towards hut, so they can't really reach you that quickly. So the first spawn player will definitely run through safely, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth players might have some issues. So the second and third and fourth and fifth players need to instantly focus towards hut. So the strat pretty much looks like this. The first player needs to throw this nade, then instantly pre-move and throw the smoke, and then instantly run towards vents like so, while the second player quickly throws the flash against vent and also instantly runs up checking hut. And the same goes for the other players. They just quickly need to run in between, following them, and just look at hut like so, because this position, as I said, is commonly peaked on these rounds where Ts love to jump into vents. So keep in mind that if you have a very further away spawn as a T, then instead I suggest not pushing towards vents and playing for a flank position. You can just stand behind and hold the positions that CTs can instantly push through, and later in the round you can also position yourself in the corner like so and just hold it like so. And if you hear anyone dropping down from hut and preparing to jump into vents, then you can catch them off guard by peeking from behind. Once you drop down towards vents, instantly focus on this angle, and then I instantly suggest for one of you to run towards double doors, take the control like so, so no CT jumps into ramp really quickly. When you have window control, the rest of your team can instantly run towards the single door position and just instantly jump out. And in this scenario, I suggest rather planting in this corner or behind the default. That's up to you, but in my opinion, planting behind default is a bit better, because you have a lot of more control. Since you have control of double door and single door, then you can play behind them, and if someone is defusing, then you can instantly peek out and get the kill like so. And this position is very good. I suggest rather splitting 3 going towards single door and 1 going towards double door, while the other one is flanking, of course. And in this scenario, you can also go 2 for 2. One of you will be holding flank and 2 of you will be taking control of double doors, and 2 of you will be going towards single doors. It's up to you, but you have to have an even around split just in case, so everyone checks each corner and you have a lot of info. And let's say if the 5th player does get a good spawn and manages to jump through vent, then his main priority is rather holding the vents like so, or instead he can stand close towards secret and maybe take the control of it just in case if any CTs decide to push from outside towards secret. And let's talk about the third strat. The third strat only requires 2 smokes and some luck, of course, because this strat will not be ideal if you don't have a lot of utility, but for eco rounds it should be enough. You can also buy an extra flash if you want, however the main priority is the 2 smokes. So the second strat is the simple cross towards outside. For this strat you will only need 2 smokes as I mentioned and 1 player to throw them, so one of you will have to drop a smoke towards him, and the person who has the smokes needs to position himself close against this truck's left side and then look at this window, and then he needs to throw the 2 smokes. The first smoke is just a simple smoke against the edge of this window like so. You need to jump through it quickly, and the next smoke is just aiming in between these 3 layers, aiming on the middle one or the second from the left side and then instantly jump throwing it as well. These smokes both land towards cross and smoke it fully. That's why you have an easy cross towards secret, and that way you can instantly run towards B side. And the main priority is if you have an extra flash, you can also throw it behind red like so, just to have a quick flash to blind off any CTs who are holding positions like garage, and then you can just instantly jump behind red and go towards secret. It's a very easy strat, and once you have the secret control, then all of you need to just quickly run towards the side. You can rather split up into 3 or 2 plays. For example, 2 of you can be going towards single door and 3 of you can be taking double door control, and the main priority of this strat is to go really fast because CTs might react really quickly and take control of ramp or even position themselves in B side. That's why I suggest one of you to instantly push through double doors. The 2 other players need to quickly push out through single door and clear the positions on top, and the 3rd player as well rather needs to clear all these positions at the same time and commit himself towards ramp to have a decent position to check it fully. This strat is a very good strat and it's very effective in a lot of force buy and eco rounds, so I definitely recommend you use it. It's a very easy strat and it only requires 2 smokes, and of course it requires a bit of luck since it depends on what utilities the CTs use towards outside. For example, if you get molly, then you instantly have to delay your push and it becomes way more difficult. That's why I just suggest having an extra smoke just in case, so you don't get mollied off this position, and then you are way safer and have a huger chance of winning the round. Thank you everyone for watching the video. This was how to rush B side on Nuke as a T on eco and force buy rounds. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.